Here you go, ladies and gentlemen. How are you doing? This is Daryl Guberman, CEO of Guberman PMC LLC, a quality consulting firm here in Connecticut. Today, this video is about ANSI-ANAB underwriter and accreditation body for board member FAA Regulator Boeing illustrates quality failure. Yes. You look most recently at Spirit Air, not Spirit, but you look most recently at the Alaskan Air, where the door popped off. You look at Boeing fudging documentation, and they sit on ANSI's board. You look at Lockheed Martin; they also sit on ANSI's board, and they're using the accreditation body ANAB or an international equivalent that sits on the IAF, UKAS, ACRED, or whatever. After their 801st F-35, they're still producing crap. You got Boeing, who's fudging documentation, most recently with their V-22 composite facility, Bell Boeing V-22 composite facility. They have been screwing up from 2007 to 2018. I don't think they were taking proper measurements, data, temperatures, and pressures for their composite parts. That could cause failure and loss of aircraft, depending on what type of part it is. And any type of part should not have that type of slipshod inspection. The next item is Pfizer, who skipped quality processes and standards to produce the COVID vaccine. Well, you have Albert Bourla, the CEO, say, yes, it was made in the sun, 100% quality, made in the sun. But we have documents that refute what he said. And the worst problem about that interview was Albert Bourla said when he was asked about taking the vaccine, here's the manufacturer of the vaccine. You had the CEO says, I'm a 59-year-old man, I don't need to take it. I'm not in the front line, I don't need to take it. Well, he got COVID about 2 times, 3 times. Maybe he did take it. They have a picture of him getting an injection, and it sure as hell looks like he was superimposed on the picture, giving it into his own arm. So he had no confidence. He had vaccine hesitancy, and I have to tell you that. That will be down in our description. All this information will be down there. If you can't find it, please call me, 203-556-1493, or Daryl, TQRS@yahoo.com. And the final one is Johnson & Johnson. I mentioned these 4 because they're sitting on ANSI's board, right over by the accreditation bodies they use. Not only that, they have 7 different registrars. 7 registrars that sit on ANSI's board, right over by ANAB, and that's the accreditation body that they stick on the, that's an accreditation body that they stick on their certificates. So is there oversight? There is none. There is no oversight whatsoever, and these guys will bullshit you. And then you have Joe Bethia making millions of dollars. He's retiring this year with about $30 million in cash after his 20 years of being at ANSI, okay, at ANSI, kissing a lot of tuckus. Maybe that's why he's got a mustache. He tickles. I don't even say it. I'm not. But I will say this. He supported his chairman when I opened up the whole situation about laboratory accreditation being kind of a scam, and it is. Because Zhao Jinwu, the gentleman that I told you about, who took over the IAF, and here he is. Here he is getting the IAF handed to him in 2015. He's been involved with our quality since 1994. You have him on here, the COVID-infested laboratory in Wuhan, China. Okay, they certified laboratory certification, and ANSI and ANAB are underwriters. And if there was a failure in that lab, that's who you have to go after, not China. You go after ANSI, ANAB. I'll be your expert witness. Only problem is that the American Bar Association and also the DOJ, FBI. American Bar Association is intimately involved. They don't sit on ANSI or ANAB, but the DOJ and FBI does, and they're all in cahoots together. It's a terrible ordeal. So you continue on with this, and then you have Johnson & Johnson, 75 million vials of COVID returned because of contamination and quality issues. Ladies and gentlemen, business owners, I do this because for 13 years I've been trying to illuminate you. I used to have 3,000 videos. I got sued by one of their henchmen, ANSI-ANAB, without a doubt. At one time, this guy was being advertised on the ISO website as a standard writer. We have that data too. We have pictures of that. I don't make this up. He sued and I won that. I'm not going to tell you his name because I don't want him to say, he defamed me. Well, let me just say, $632,000 bankruptcy. I should say it's a little bit more than that. And we're not going to mention his name because he is one of ANSI's shills put up to try to take me out of action, because I am telling the truth here. And you know why I tell you this? You know why I tell you all of this thing about Boeing, about quality, about everything? Because you don't know me and I don't know you. And maybe it's better that way, who knows? But I tell you this because we as human beings need to know this. Because when you take a jab from Pfizer and you find out that they skip quality processes nobody told you about, what are you doing? You took something into your body that may have had contamination in it. Okay? Johnson & Johnson. I have a friend of mine who took Johnson & Johnson. He ended up with blood clots on his lungs. You can't make that up. I do this because I give a damn. What he cares about is his $22 million salary. All right? I've offered my services with my team to go in there and clean up that mess because the FAA can't clean it up. Because in 2009, as I've showed in many videos, they relinquished, the FAA gave Boeing FAA authorization. So you have two regulatory agencies, and now one of them had an issue. They're both. When that door popped, it wasn't Boeing that had the issue. It was the FAA that had that failure. Do you see that, business owners? You can read this. It'll be in the body of the text in the description. 203-556-1493 or Daryl, TQRS, at yahoo.com. Again, this video was ANSI-ANAB underwriter and accreditation body for board member FAA regulator Boeing, and I showed you that they do sit on the board right over by the FAA. Isn't this a tender moment? So the Boeing is the FAA. The FAA is Boeing. Do you understand that, business owners? 203-556-1493 or Daryl, TQRS at yahoo.com. I thank you.